cuts out, you can go to my Facebook, Mr. Justin Rivera, MR, then R Justin Rivera, or YouTube on Justin Rivera Show. Check it out there. Or if you're online, don't have any of those things, roflshow.com. Check it out. Guys, man, this is one of my longtime friends in showbiz, in comedy. You've seen him on Amazon Prime, Kings of K-Town. You see him on
No, they
Hulu.
haven't. No, they haven't.
Okay, you see it on Amazon Prime.
They haven't seen me anywhere, but thank you.
He's been on Amazon Prime. Hulu, Comedy Invasion, and he's here hanging out with us. This is the he also he was a TV host. He has his own show on what was it, Mnet, right? Which I was a guest on. We had a great time on there. Guys, this is the multi-talented, and we're gonna get into that because he is literally one of the most talented people I know. Guys, this is the hilarious, the multi-talented PK, Paul Kim, everybody. Here he is. Yes, PK.
Thank you.
Hey,
thanks
man.
For having me, bro.
Thanks for
connecting with you.
Bro, thanks for dude, just thanks for hanging out with me, man, for real.
Well, thank you. Once they realized they didn't know who the hell I was, it went from 10 people to 3 people in 20 seconds. That's how I'm balling like that, bro. All good. I wanted to do this only because I wanted to just connect with you, man. See how you're doing.
Yeah, dude. Me too, man. Like I just been doing all these just because one thing I miss about comedy is not even just doing shows. It's hanging out with other comics, in the back of the room or in front of the club or what. You know what I mean? Like that's the camaraderie in comedy.
I miss that so much, man.
You know what I mean? Like dude, it's like one of the best things about just doing comedy. Not even just obviously performing, getting laughs on stage is great, but just hanging out with people who know the struggle and the grind, you know what I mean, and appreciate that lifestyle. Definitely. So thanks, man, for being here with me, man. We're good. Dude. Where do we start, man? Hey, Merry Christmas. Happy New Year. Thank you for like I said, being here with us, all of us here streaming live. PK, man, I've known you, man, at least since 2004, I want to say. At least 16 years since when you were still hosting Collaboration, the premier Asian American talent show. It's worldwide now, right?
Not worldwide, but nationwide. At one point, 15 cities, and now it's maybe down back to like 7 cities. But still, at one point, it was rocking. Before YouTube, we were just planting it in every major city. Like it just kept going, and it's all nonprofit.
All nonprofit.
All nonprofit.
All nonprofit. That is
in fact, it probably. I mean, I lost a lot of money, and then Roy, who was my good friend and main investor, he lost a lot of money, but we just kept it going because it was such an important cause to keep Asians on the stage.
Important platform, yeah, and I mean, yeah, not a lot of people realized how many names came out of there, or at least graced their the presence on the show. Do you want to run back these names like Joe Coy? Let's say Bobby Lee on there.
It's crazy how Joe Coy, Bobby Lee was on stage. I mean, I would say like half of all the Asian comedians that are doing it right now have at least, and then all the Asian YouTube stars,
right?
All the Asian dance crews, rappers. Singers,
right,
and then a lot of the Asian actors that are big, they were the judges.
Dang,
yeah, it's really good, and it's still going. It's still going strong.
Right, it is, and it's now 20th anniversary this year, right?
20th anniversary, yeah, it's crazy.
So, congrats on that, man! 20 years, dude.
Thank you.
I mean, I was fortunate to do it at least one time. That was 2004 when I first met you. I think I was the first magician to do the show, right? At that point?
I think so. Yeah.
In 2004,
there were a few Asian magicians that were on the show
afterwards.
Yeah, you guys all hated each other.
I know there was like at least some. There was like some Chinese magician that was on the show.
Yeah, Norman
King was on there.
I can't remember. There's. I respect magician, man. You guys are mad talented and skilled. I really try to get my son into it, but he doesn't have the discipline. You know, you really got to want to do it badly, and then have the discipline to practice
Right.
over and over. But man, computer games mess everything up. Really, these kids are so spoiled with the computer games that they don't want to be disciplined.
Right.
You know?
Focused other than the game.
Yeah, I always tell my son, like, hey, do you want to be a coder and make billions, or do you want to be a computer gamer and, you know, maybe make 100,000 or be a loser? You know, or just be, or you know, or just do nothing. And he's too young. He doesn't get it. But dude, if he starts coding now at 12, by the time he's 20,
bro, he's set.
Everybody, man.
It's the future. Coding is the future, man.
Present and the future. I'm trying to get him to do
present and future.
But also with Magic, there's something there too. There's like,
no, there's not. There's not, bro.
No, but there's so few people that know how to do it.
Right. Well, that's true. Mainly
like
because
if there wasn't a pandemic, you would always have gigs.
Yeah, I mean, I guess. Yeah, I can see that. But I mean, like
that one time you did a wedding in Laguna with me, and then I had to ask you if you could. All the guests left, and they wanted to do the sparklers. And I go, please stay. They don't have enough guests to do the sparkler exit. And when I saw you, I was like, see, Justin's a homie. He stayed. Because it was just the wedding vendors doing the sparkler exit. And that's when I knew, dude, you're committed. It's not always the best gigs, but you always have gigs.
Bro, I remember that gig. And, you know, I appreciate all the gigs you thrown at me, man, because you always put money in my pocket. And I always feel bad. I was never able to book you something. Like, I've thrown stuff your way, but you're always busy as well, bro.
I feel bad because on my birthday show, I handed out balloons. And the audience blew up balloons during your set and messed it up. So, all good. No, not only that, you're a cool dude and you're talented, man. You're really good. And you always keep getting better. I remember we were at Brea and you killed it, that show. And I had friends that live in Brea that came over, a bunch of Korean people, and all of them said you were the best one that night.
Oh,
and we
man, for real?
Five of us. Yeah, and they all loved you. And not just the match, I'm saying like your comedy, they were like, man, that guy Justin's so good. I just see you keep leveling. You know, because when you first started doing that comedy magic thing, I was like, wait, where is he going? And then you just kept leveling up. Because you're already a good magician. And you did my birthday and you killed it. And then you did a bunch of Korean banks that were like really whack. When you do those Korean events, all you got to think is, I'm getting paid.
Dude, doing a live Korean. Yeah. Doing a live. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay, so I was cutting out. Doing a live Korean event for like doing their entertainment is essentially doing stand-up comedy live on Zoom. You just have to like pretend they're laughing and keep going.
Okay. By far, Korean are the worst. Elderly Koreans.
Elderly, right?
Elderly Koreans are the worst audience ever for any event, weddings, shows, galas. So conservative and so stiff and so worried people are gonna think and so don't know how to have fun and let loose, man.
Yeah, this is basically an impression of a Korean event. So let's say you're looking at the camera and you're doing your thing, and this is all you see in the crowd is people just doing this.
Yeah, they're not even looking up.
Yeah, they're not even. They're literally just eating. They're not even looking at the show. They're just doing their own thing.
That's the word. You feel so lame when they're not even looking at you.
I know. You feel like such a loser. You're just like, what am I doing up here? Am I just? You feel like a stripper. You feel like a stripper. No one's like throwing money at you or anything. You're just literally. Actually, a stripper gets more attention even though they're not even throwing money at you.
Very true. And then they always say like, oh yeah, no, those shows make you stronger. Not those.
Not the Korean ones, man.
Those make you feel like giving up.
Yeah, those are the shows that make you reevaluate your life decisions. You know.
Yeah, very depressing.
Yeah, I remember that one Korean bank gig where I was dying because it was just first of all, they weren't paying any attention, but there was a big dance floor, so they're even farther back, so not engaged. and nothing is working for me, obviously, because no one's paying attention. So I remember just like, man, I'm just gonna say whatever. This who's listening, and I finished the setup by going, "All right, guys, thank you." Like I finished like I was a rock star, like I was killing it. I was like, "All right, thank you guys very much. I'm Joe Coy. Good night." Shout out to Joe Coy.
That was the most funny. I remember when you said that. I'm Joe Coy.
And
like, what?
bro, because I was only just no one was laughing, so I was like, you know what? In comedy, even just in comedy in general, like no one's laughing at you now, you're just trying to make the comedians in the back of the room laugh. That's essentially what was happening at this gig. You were on the sidelines, and we were just going through the motions. You know what I mean? Like no one really cares at this point. We could say anything at that
Also,
point.
I know there were some Korean gigs. I got you, Johnny Sanchez. There were some people where they were like, yeah, we'll pay you to MC, but we want, like, can you bring a magician? Can you bring a comedian? You know?
Oh, right, yeah.
Yeah, and then I remember like they always looked to me as like, can you book someone? And I felt bad, man, because I knew that it was. But at the same time, it's like, you know, you're gonna get a few $100 to do 10 minutes. Like, all right.
Yeah, it's work, man. I was like, man, I will take the bomb to pay this bill.
It reminds me of Cedric the Entertainer always said, like when you're just hustling, you just gotta look at it as stacking. Like you can never look at that show. You gotta look at the whole week and just imagine yourself stacking money.
Right. Oh yeah.
You know? And then at the end of the week, like look at that. Like this, I did all these gigs and I stacked all this paper, and then you're not looking at the ups and downs of every weird show.
Right.
Because we've all done the weirdest, most painful shows.
We've done some crazy gigs. A lot. I mean, a lot of the funny stories I have are actually are with you, but it's so true though, man. Because like Cedric is like one of my favorites. I guess
he's one of my all-time. He's definitely one of my top 10 all-time favorite.
Top 10 for me as well. Yeah. I mean, he was just so funny to me. His crowd work, his jokes, he's entertaining. You know, the singing, the dancing, whatever. He's just everything. He's so funny to me.
Amazing, and I think he's underrated. Like a lot of people don't put him in the top 10. I think he's top 7 maybe for me.
I know. I totally agree, man. He took it. I don't know what it is, man. He just has like he has so many other angles and elements to it, you know?
He's so talented, so many angles. And he's so lovable. Like he's like chubby, but he's so lovable.
He's like a teddy bear. Like you can't hate the guy. You know what I mean?
Yeah. He's so good, man.
And I think because he's Cedric the Entertainer, I think that's one of the reasons why I did so well in black rooms, like black comedy rooms. That's when I first started out, just doing a bunch of all these crazy, black comedy rooms, and I think the magic was definitely the thing that helped me, win the crowd over or help me connect. Because I don't know what it is about magic and black people, but black people just love magic, dude. Like, I don't know what it is. I don't know what it is.
Black people love magic, but Korean people don't.
I think so, dude. Honestly, old Korean people. Because honestly, most of my standing ovations were for old black people at like clean church comedy shows, like church comedy, and it was just like they always showed me love, and coming up in these black rooms was like, it was just because and not only are they're what do you call it, fun to do, but they're also hard to do. Not a lot of people realize the differences between some of the mainstream clubs and like these other like urban rooms. Like they're you got to get them quick. Like they're quick to judge. You got to make them laugh in 30 seconds. But when you get them, they're like 1,000% energy. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, for sure. They're the opposite of Korean people.
Definitely the opposite, man. Oh, dude.
What's up, D River Lim?
D River Lim just joined us. PK, you're my hero, man. He is. PK is a hero to a lot of people, honestly. Man.
You know what? What I realized, I've done like maybe 10 of these IG live things. Is when if you already have like 20 people, then more people come in. They don't feel weird because they're like, oh, they're joining a group.
Right.
If there's like 5, because sometimes you go into one and there's like 5 people, you're like, oh shoot, it's a small room. You literally feel like into this conversation. You're like, oh wait, yeah.
like what is happening right now. You know, I totally get it.
TV Wonder Woman, like you feel like you're in this. You walked into like a intruded.
Yeah, like yeah, because it's kind of like in a comedy room too, where a comedy club when there's a smaller crowd, you feel less inclined to laugh out loud because you don't want to draw attention to yourself by laughing more than everybody else. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
So I mean, there's so much truth in that whole laughter is contagious thing. You know what I mean? Like
it's very contagious.
it's very you laugh in numbers, for real, man.
It changes the perception of the show too. Like
Right,
I can't count the number of times when I've done the exact same set for half, like half the crowd is full,
right.
and they're like, "Yeah, that was pretty good, man. That was pretty good." But I've done the exact same set for a full crowd, and everybody's like, "Yo, man,
Right.
when's your special, man?"
Right.
And then literally the exact same set a week later at an empty crowd, and I've had people go, "Hey, man, you should think about becoming a comedian," But I was like, "What fool? I am a comedian."
You should think about.
Like if you do the exact same set when you're hosting, they don't even look at you.
I was about to say the same thing, man. When you're hosting, people don't understand that you're also a comic in a different position in the show. You just have a different job at the show.
The toughest position.
Yeah, the toughest right after headliner, but
Yeah,
definitely easier than the middle or the feature acts. You know.
the headliner's the toughest, of course. But
Right.
thing like if you have a cold crowd that hasn't drank a drop, and they're not like a church crowd, like they're not like all lovey.
Yeah, easier paying attention, right?
Yeah, if they're like, if they come in and their arms are already folded and they're not enjoying, like,
Right.
like, dude, host is the hardest spot, man.
No, totally, man. And that brings up a good point because I wanted to always tell you this, man. Like, honestly, man, a lot of people would take this as a bad compliment because they have their own egos, but you, man, like, you are got to be one of the best hosts, like, hands down. Not in just comedy, but like live events, weddings, whatever, talent shows, variety shows. I mean, you were so good at hosting. You had your own TV show at one point, hosting your own TV show. And it's because you just have you're just so I mean, man, I don't know what it is, but you're just so like just so presentable and you just know how to keep things flowing and make sure there's no lag and if things lag, like you know how to pick up the pace and you know what I mean? Like people don't know this, but hosting is definitely its own art form.
Definitely.
It's separate from comedy. I mean, it's related and comedy does help, but hosting is it's definitely its own art form and people don't realize it's not just talking and announce. A lot of people just think they can host because they can announce or read a script or whatever, and it's more than that, you know.
There's a lot of synergy. You got to read the vibe. That's why I love
read the room, read the crowd, right?
I love Conan O'Brien. I mean, I love the good talk show hosts that just know how to just make it fun. I do have to say, like, when I was doing collab, I had so much energy. And then Jimmy Masada asked me to do a Laugh Factory podcast, but I was a recruiter, like a corporate recruiter. So I had to wear a suit and come straight there on a Friday. And I remember just having zero energy. And then I remember some of the comedians just straight up to my face telling me, "Yo, man, you suck. What's going on, bro?" Like straight up during the podcast.
Right.
I remember saying, like, "Man, I got kids. I'm tired." And one of them, he said, "Whatever excuse you want to make." It really stung. Like, so that's a big thing too, is just energy. Like, and sometimes I didn't have it. And like half of it is just getting the energy of the crowd just, and you have to like be professional and force that out of you because sometimes you don't have it, man. You're just, life is kick your ass.
Right. You literally, you kind of have to almost fake it sometimes, really.
You got to like amp yourself up. One thing I respect about Tom Cruise, even though he's a weird dude, is was the extra on that movie, shoot, not Heat, but it was something like with Jamie Foxx. I don't know, it was like this action movie, but he I forgot what it's called. I was right next to him, like is the closest, I've been to like such a big name
Right.
actor. And he had to do this one scene like 20 times, and it was with a gun right before he was about to like yell and shoot a gun.
Right.
He would jump up and down and slap himself in the face and start yelling to get him in the psychological mode of being in that scene where he looks crazy.
Right. Wow.
And so even though he's crazy, like it really made me see, okay, well, that's why he's one of the best. Like he manufactured this energy.
Yeah, that's insane, man.
Up and down and shouting and slapping himself in the face, dude, to get. And I was like, damn. And that's when I realized, like, as a host, you have to do that. But at the same time, man, I appreciate your compliment. Like, of course, I'm always going to host whenever I need to.
Yeah.
I'm trying to get out of that too. Like, you can get pigeonholed as a host.
No, I totally get it, man. Like, and you definitely don't want to have that like label on you. You know what I mean?
It is. People love me. 14 years, 15 years of it. But I get it. Like, I'm not a headliner, but I feel like I'm a good feature. And one day I hope I could be a headliner. But
bro, headliner. Of course you can headline.
I'm not a headliner for sure. A headliner, you got to draw people, But as a host, like, I've just done so many shows where I've done the same set as a host and a feature. And as a feature, it rocks. And as a host, I just get the golf, like, okay, bring on the comedian.
Yeah.
Like,
it's the perception of the crowd, like going back, like they don't consider you part of the show. Like I've heard the same thing from
you're the introducer.
You're basically like the Bruce Buffer. Like you're not part of this boxing production. You're was it Michael Buffer or Bruce Buffer? Who's the one boxing? one of them. Yeah, they're both brothers. One's UFC, one's boxing. I totally forgot. But yeah, man. I mean, no, but I mean, like I've seen you do sets where you hold your own just as a stand-up comic and like killing it, man. Like I mean, your YouTube videos getting so many views on for your stand-up. And one thing I always wanted to tell you, man, is like because I've seen you do stand-up for the last 16 years at least. And man, like it's just totally, it's like night and day. Obviously, you're supposed to grow and get better, but like your stuff is so real now. Obviously, you're a family man, your life has changed, but there's so much more depth to what you have to say on stage. You know what I mean? Like you're talking about real stuff. You know what I mean? Like stuff that like people can relate to and also be funny, which is not a lot of people can do that. You know what I mean?
Thank you. I appreciate it, man. I'm just trying to. That hard part is being a parent is like wanting to talk about super real stuff. Like for example, during this pandemic, trying to find private time to have with just you and your right hand. You know what I'm saying? But then now everything's online, and then your kids see it. Like, look, I do have a bit about masturbation. My kids have seen it. Like they found it at the Laugh Factory YouTube.
Oh my gosh.
Young, and like it's just, and then not only that, their friends' parents are seeing it, and I could tell they're probably looking at me like, man, it's not like the best influence for our kids.
You don't want them sleeping over.
It's just like so I realize if you notice like a lot of these comedians, actors that have kids, they all start doing like kids movies, like Eddie Murphy,
right?
Saying like Russell, Christmas Chronicle, because they want their kids to see them in a good light. And like if you're just doing dirty comedy, that's what they eventually see, and then they're I don't know. I
get it.
It's like you want to keep it real, but then you can't go too much.
Yeah, there's a balance between it, man. I totally get it because so I started off in magic doing kids and family shows, whatever, birthdays, whatever, from like since I was a kid all the way through college. That was like my side hustle, making money. And then when I started going to comedy, I had to kind of like do more adult things in the clubs, whatever. Can you still hear me okay?
Yeah.
Okay, sorry, I didn't know if I was cut off now. Yeah, I decided to do more adult stuff. Sometimes it was dirty, or sometimes you're doing a bar show. You kind of have to filth, throw in some filth in there just because you're gonna lose them in this bar show. But eventually, in comedy, I started to be more adult, more dirty, and then some of these videos will end up online on YouTube. And then when people wanted to book me for like a family show or a church event or whatever, they people always research you now before they call you up. And when they pull up my video, it's like Justin Rivera and the Magic Penis. Like what? We're not gonna book him for our school assembly. What is this? So I'd get calls like that, like, hey, they like you, but they're seeing all these videos. Like, what is that? And I'm like, well, I mean, obviously I'm not gonna do that for a kids show. Come on, guys. I mean, that video you saw was me in a comedy club, not at a church or school or whatever, or library. And people just don't know how to separate the two. I don't know how to do that. I think I don't know if it's just like there's a fine line of balance between the two, but who knows how that works? I just try to. I don't know, man. I just try to. I don't try to advertise as much as I do, like the kids and family stuff, and I'm hoping that kind of like goes away, like people forget it. But at the same time, this is my strategy is to. I also want to kind of hold on to that family, that kid show base, because my thing is that hopefully in 10 years these kids are going to be 18, 19, 20, and they're gonna, oh, I remember that guy from my school or my library, let's go see him at the comedy club. That's what I'm betting on, so I don't know, man. I mean, I feel like there's challenges with what we do, with our markets when we do multiple markets.
There is. It is. And I don't know, man. I just know that a lot of these people on Nickelodeon, like the people making big money on kids shows.
Yeah.
To some of them, I don't want to name them, but I talked to this one dude. He was like a character in some kids show on Nickelodeon. He was making like $10,000 per episode.
Yeah.
He was making a few $100,000 a year, and he said he's never partied so hard with like a cast of people. Like all those kid show actors, they were just doing massive drugs together and just no, they were like having the most massive sexual party, and like, but then they were like hungover, and then they would go film these kids things.
Right.
It's like they definitely had to keep all that under wraps. But then as stand-up comedians, it's like with material, it's different because you're not playing this character on stage. You're yourself.
You're right.
Yeah, and so it's like, and then everything ends up online now, and so
yeah.
I just realized I do probably have to make a choice, like just keep things clean. I've been thinking about it a lot because I do love the freedom that Joe Rogan has, where he's so successful that he does his advertisements while cursing. Like there are a few people in the world that curse while they do, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. No, I totally get. Yeah.
He goes, the motherfucking Squarespace, like, and he probably makes like 50,000 each time he says it. Like it's crazy. Like, but like that's like a goal, is to get to that level. But unless you get to that level, you can't do that. You gotta clean.
Totally. I mean, there's only a few more mainstream guys that I can think that can do that. One of them, two of them I can think off the top of my head. Gabriel Iglesias, fluffy guy. I mean, I've seen him do, sell it a weekend at the Improv, adult shows at night, and he'll do like a 5 o'clock matinee, like a 5 o'clock matinee show for PG-13, 13 and up.
Wow.
The material is different, but you're still getting fluffy. Jeff Dunham, he's the other guy with, I mean, the puppets, kids love.
Brian Regan.
Brian Regan too, right?
Brian Regan.
Yeah, Dunham, I mean, the edginess of the puppet, the adults love, but then he can kind of tone it down to where stuff flies over the kids' heads that adults get, that they laugh at. So there's a fine line, there's a balance between the two. Yeah. And I started to notice that for myself, kind of going through those challenges, because when I do like these kid shows or family shows, like I would basically, I'm playing towards the kids, but I'm trying to keep the adults entertained by throwing stuff out to them and stuff that they get, but the kids don't get. Because I didn't want to end up being looked at by these adults as like, oh, you want a magician? Look at Justin Rivera. Oh no, he just does kid shows. He's not that. He's just a kid show guy.
Yeah.
But these parents, they see me, they're having fun, they're laughing at the stuff that I'm doing for them, and they're like, oh no, I was laughing, I was having a good time, and all the kids were, and it's all good. So we can hire him for our corporate event or whatever, So it's just there's these little things that no one really tells you. You kind of just figure it out on stage. You know what I mean? So, and I mean, like, dude, you're definitely one of those guys that have definitely found a way to just to take your talents and move them into other markets. We were talking about the wedding,
weddings, bro.
Wedding, emceeing at weddings, because I've done those. I think I'm great at emceeing weddings, receptions. But dude, that gig at Laguna, was that Laguna Beach that we were saying earlier?
Yeah.
Bro, that was the first time I actually saw you do a whole like wedding MC like set or whatever. And I was blown away, bro. Like the amount of preparation you took in that intro where you did a lot of research on the couple. And I can't remember if you made a game or you made a song or something or a poem or you did something.
I do a custom song for each couple.
I was just like, dude, you are freaking amazing, man. It's so
Thank you, man.
No, for real, man. I mean that from the bottom of my heart, because I was literally watching it and I was blown away just seeing how good you are at that, and I mean that in the most like highest respect, man.
Thank you.
Because I know you can do more than just emceeing weddings, but dude, like you freaking just killed it, man. Like, and so much, you killed so much that one of my celebrity crushes loves you because you're such a great host, Jeannie Mai.
Ooh.
Jeannie Mai.
Oh yeah. I did a show. Like, I MC. There's a casting director named David Kang. She's friends with Jeannie. He's friends with Jeannie Mai. His wedding was like next to the beach somewhere.
Yeah.
And, this is when she was with her last husband before she became rapper wife.
Let's not talk about that. But she's pregnant.
But I did this whole whole skit thing, comedy thing, and then she's like, "You're the best MC I've seen," and I'm like, "Thank you." I go, "Can I use that?" She was sure, and then I mean, she kept blowing up, so I have that on my website. I actually emailed her too, like, "Hey, I can use this, right?" She's like, "Yeah, of course." So she's cool. She just keeps along. She's a superstar now. Goodness gracious.
Jeannie Mai is just, man. She's not only just gorgeous, but like she's so talented too, man. Like just her presenting skills, just the way she's just so likable on camera.
Yeah.
I remember when she was like some sort of correspondent or a host on Imagination TV. Do you remember that back in the day?
Wow, she started there. Wow,
this is like 04, 05, 06, somewhere around there.
Wow.
And I remember that was my first like exposure to her, and I remember just flipping through channels. I was like, "Who is that?" Like she was just gorgeous, man. I mean, she's also like a beauty makeup guru. So she's a fashionista. So I mean, obviously, she should be on TV. But yeah, man, she was doing that way back in the day, and like, man, her star just shined even more these last few years on the. What's her talk show? Was it the Real or something?
The Real. Yeah.
There now,
and then she married.
Was it Flo Rida?
No, she married. No, she married Jeezy.
Jeezy? Wait, so that was after Flo Rida?
I mean, did she date Flo Rida? I don't even know.
I remember hearing about it. You know how I think I know about this because I have Google alerts about Jeannie Mai on my phone. So that's. I'm kidding.
It's hilarious, bro.
I didn't know that she was with Jeezy now. That's crazy, man. Yeah, so congratulations to her. Man, she's the one that got away in my mind, honestly. But but yeah, man. Dude, the wedding stuff, man. I can't tell you how many times I've seen you just go up there and just rock it. I'm just like, dude, this guy is freaking so talented, dude. And
It's like it's 90% blessing. I don't want to say it's a curse, but it's more like I'm so thankful because I have it. You know, I have a family and it's good side money.
Yeah.
But again, you can get pigeonholed, and I'm not exaggerating. I've done, I mean, just like you, we've done so many, but I've done 500 weddings, and it's like most of them
Yeah.
are Korean, and Koreans are the worst. And so it's like it's just expending a lot of energy, and then it's like I can't count the number of times when it's me and my DJ, and we're just playing music for the wedding party at the end. Like they're not even like Filipinos are a party.
Right.
Like
They don't want to dance.
they're just so and it's getting better, but at the same time, it's like it's exhausting. You got to get there at 1 p.m. You set up, and then there's the ceremony at 4, and then there's the reception, and then sometimes they go all the party till 12, and then we're cleaning up until 1. I mean, it's like a 14-hour workday, manual labor,
Right.
and it's the same thing over and over, week after week. So it's good money, and I mean, right now everything's on hold. There's nothing going on, so it's actually been kind of a blessing. But at the same time, it's like I need that money too. So
Yeah, man. It's definitely one of those businesses where it's a labor of love. You know what I mean? You're hauling your own equipment, you're setting it up, you're
you
packing
know,
it up, breaking it down. You know what I mean? Like,
people think you just show up, MC.
yeah,
It's
you're
it's like taping down wires.
right.
It's making
You're
everything is set with the schedule with a couple of
right.
months before. Sometimes you have a bridezilla. You're on the phone over and over. Sometimes they want to meet in person for no reason. Sometimes you're just, sometimes a couple is fighting, Sometimes you're like a counselor.
Right.
Sometimes I was inefficient because the pastor didn't show. I had to be the efficient.
I was about to ask you. Okay.
Yeah, there were times when they have alcohol, and then they asked me to be the efficient. So then I'm the efficient. I'm already buzzed, and then I am the wedding MC too. They're like, "Wait, is that the pastor and the wedding MC?" I'm like, "I have to tell you, I'm not the pastor." And then I'm drinking. I'm like, dude. You know what I'm saying?
I always wanted to ask you this. What are some of the craziest or worst or most awkward or most bizarre things you've had happen at your 500 plus weddings? Because I have one, but I'm sure you have like so many of them. Is there any one that you can share with us?
Two of the Korean ones, a fight broke out. One time there was blood on the dance floor. One time the groom yelled at everybody at my wedding dog.
No.
One time the bride was so drunk she ran into this pole.
Yeah.
It's like what is it called?
Like a pillar, like a post.
Pillar.
Yeah.
And with blood on her white dress from her nose, dude.
Oh, God.
And then one time we're at a hotel, and we were partying with our wedding party. There was another wedding going back up to their room, but they were so drunk that they decided to come dance on our dance floor. This other bride and bridesmaids decided to dance on our dance floor before they went up to their hotel room. So they come running in drunk. So now there's two brides and a bridesmaid, and then our bride and the bridesmaid, they're like, of course, they're like, hell no. So they start a fight, like pushing, like, what are you guys doing? Pushing that other bride out. And yeah, I saw.
Oh my gosh.
I always do a dance competition. One guy,
what competition?
Dance competition.
Oh, dance competition. Okay.
I had one guy try to do a backflip and knock himself out, like unconscious. Fun stuff.
Bro, that's nothing compared to my story. The one that sticks out in my mind is I was hired to do walk around magic. It's going, mingling with people and doing close-up magic with them from group to group. And I was by the dance floor and the music's blasting, so it's really loud. And I'm not talking; I'm just showing a trick, right? And I had my from behind me. I hear a big like slap. It was so loud I could hear it over the music. I turn around and it's these two groups of Asian uncles just just bickering. One's red from alcohol, the other one's red from getting slapped in the face.
Wow.
Bro, that's how hard this guy got hit. And like they were trying to hold him back. They're talking in I think it was Chinese. And bro, I remember the bride came and she goes, guys, stop. This is my day. Stop it, guys. It's my dude. It was I've never seen anything like that at all. They finally calmed down and they separated. I was like, dude, at a wedding, man, this is insane. This is what
It,
fun, happy
it,
times.
it is really sad and it's so rude because like
Yeah,
people should just chill out at someone else's wedding, you know.
right. It's not it's their day. Let them let them have enjoy it. The other one
And
go ahead.
oh no, in terms of that, I looked up because of that the most violent weddings, and there was one in Long Beach at a Vietnamese wedding where someone stabbed another person to death at a wedding, dude. At a wedding, at a wedding, dude.
Fuck, Vietnamese wedding in Long
Yeah,
Beach?
you could Google violent weddings.
At first, when you said Long Beach, I instantly thought, man, that's a Cambodian wedding.
Yeah,
Like, wow.
Cambodian or Vietnamese, but this one was Vietnamese. So this like a bunch of a couple uncles or something. I don't know.
Damn, man, that's insane,
Like,
dude.
like you couldn't wait like the next day. Couldn't wait.
I know, because now that couple has to when their wedding.
For the rest of their life.
Yeah,
their life.
They're gonna remember that on their wedding anniversary.
And every time their friends go, "Oh yeah, how was your wedding?"
Yeah, someone died. That's wild, bro. I think one of the other worst times I did a wedding, I was hired to perform at a wedding reception, a Filipino wedding, and because the groom was like a fan or whatever, so he flew me out there. I did my thing, and I want to say like 10, 15 minutes in, I just keep hearing all these like Filipino aunties just chattering in the corner, right? And it was so loud. I mean, everyone heard it, and they just wouldn't like shut up. So so I was just calling them out like, hey, what I wasn't even making fun of them. I was just, hey, and I continue on with the show, and from the same corner I hear next.
Just, wait, next to what?
Next, like as in like a heckle, like next, move on. Like I got heckled. How do you get heckled at a wedding reception? It was just like, it was terrible, dude.
I've gotten heckled too.
At a wedding reception too?
Yeah, I got it. This Korean,
God,
older gangster kind of dudes.
Oh, no wonder.
How come you guys aren't getting into it? And this one guy it was dead quiet. This one guy just yelled at me, because you suck.
Jesus.
Yeah, that ruined the vibe a little bit.
God damn. Did you continue after that, or what happened?
Yeah, you had to continue after that.
How much
You hear that? Look at my kids in the background. What's up, Francine Hong?
Hey, who's screaming? Is that Sophie? Or who's that? Is that Sophie?
Yeah, we have a puppy, dude.
You have a what?
We have a puppy. It's peeing everywhere. I'm pooing everywhere.
Oh, is that why she's screaming? Telling the dog.
It's nonstop, dude.
Man. Oh man, Sophie's so adorable, dude. I remember when she was born, or was that when she was 1? She was the cutest little thing, man. And man, I remember her. I was at your. I remember there was something at your house when you were living. Were you in Glendale at the time or something like that? You had something over there, and I remember Sophie was just this little girl, and like she would if you would hold her, she would like totally like just like snuggle you in your chest and your neck, and I was like, oh my gosh.
Yo, Clipper Daryl's in the house, man. Clipper Daryl, bro.
Clipper. Oh, yeah, that's right. You Clipper fans, man.
How did they lose again? The most painful thing ever. I don't know how this keeps happening, bro. But I love you, Clipper.
Yeah, man.
Always repping.
I mean, I've been a Clipper fan. It's weird, man, because I grew up with both teams, Clippers and Lakers.
No. You can't do that.
Let me explain. Let me explain. So, I mean, before I started playing basketball, like in recreational leagues and like NJB back in the day, Before that, it was growing up with the Showtime Lakers. But then when I started doing NJB and playing on like organized school leagues, or team leagues, not school leagues, team leagues, the Clippers always sponsored the league. So like I got to go down to the forum and watch them practice, or we got to do clinics with them, and we got to sit on the court, ask questions, dribble around with them, take pictures.
Said you gotta pick a team,
dude. It's so hard, man, because like I love them both, and I get so much shit for saying that. And I mean, like, dude, like, back in the day, I mean, watching, Gary Graham, Brent Barry, like all these guys. Harper was on the team, Ron Harper back in the day. You know what I mean? Like,
those are good name drops.
Yeah, man. Like, I loved watching them, man, and it was just, obviously they weren't, they've had struggles all these last years, but honestly, this year I was like, man, if the Lakers or the Clippers win, I'll be okay. Because for me, in my heart, I know you hate hearing that. I know you hate hearing it, BK. But dude, if the Clippers would have gone, bro, dude, I would have been more excited than having the Lakers win. Trust me.
I've never felt more pain than this past year's. It was the worst, most painful thing of. I mean, we choked 4 years ago too, but it was by far the most.
So close, man. I get it. I totally get it.
Oh, no, you don't. No, you don't.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah. I get it.
So painful, man.
That's totally true, man. Oh man. What were we talking about before this? Was it the weddings? Yeah, we did talk about the weddings. Oh man.
Clipperdale, by the way, Justin Rivera said that this year he's gonna commit. Only.
I'll commit. I'll rock it out with you guys, man. I don't know what's going on this year, but we'll see what happens, dude. For real. Who else is joining us right now?
I don't know, but there's still be people. Every time people join, you should just compliment their name, and trust me, we'll make their day, bro. Like Jessica XO802.
Jessica 802, yeah. Clipper Darrell. Oh man, Clipper Darrell's verified. Dang. How many people does he have on his?
Dude, he gets shout outs from Snoop Dogg and Ice Cube and.
Oh, crazy!
I'm not gonna lie, Ice Cube and his son are annoying as hell. Yeah. I'm not gonna say it to their face, but I'll say it here. O'Shea, they're so annoying, man.
You can say whatever you want on my show. No one's watching, or we'll watch.
They're so annoying. God, man, they love stepping on you when you're down. Like those people.
Yeah, I hear it. They just want to rub it in more with you.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, man. Oh, that's insane, dude. Wow. I lost my train of thought when we were talking before the basketball thing. What were we talking? We were talking about weddings before that. I think we were. Were we?
Yeah.
Like crazy weddings.
My friend Judy, she's a mom of 2 twins, and they're the cutest. Judy, Justin, single. He has a crush on Jeannie Mai, so that's his type. If you know anyone in Orange County, Justin here. He's a really good magician, comedian, Clipper fan. Judy.
There we go. Who is that?
Judy is my friend from college. Every guy had a crush on Judy, but she only dated K-pop stars during that time.
Damn, man.
Give up.
What's her IG here?
KLY04.
Oh, KLY 0404. All right, Judy.
Yeah.
What college you go to? Was it Occidental? Was that where you went to?
Occidental College.
Obama went there too, right?
The only school west of the Mississippi where an American president attended.
Wow.
And he probably smoked weed there, and then he transferred to Columbia University after that.
What did you take at Occidental?
This podcast is sponsored by Asahi.
What did you major in? I went to UC Riverside, majored in business.
Philosophy, which nobody should ever major in. Stay in your room and think about why did I do that.
Yeah, philosophy basically stay in education or philosophy. when you do that, right?
It jacked me up too because I grew up in church. I was such a church boy.
Yeah.
It really makes you question everything.
Life. Yeah. I
Yeah.
get it.
Yeah.
I mean, I get philosophy. A lot of lawyers take that major in that, don't they?
My older brother was philosophy, and then he became a lawyer. So that's
Lawyer too, right?
he was valedictorian, high school.
Right.
I looked up to him, so I was like, okay, philosophy. But then my first paper, I wrote about like the existence of God, and I was like really preachy about it. And my professor just trashed it, and it like shook me, you know.
What?
Yeah, I was always arguing with her because I'm a Christian, and she was always like, this is trash, and so it definitely messed me up. But then after that, I just started partying like crazy.
Is that when you started comedy around those years in college?
Right after college, yeah.
Right after that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I wish I started earlier though. I wish I like started during college,
During
like,
what? How long?
Socializing all the time, so I might as well
Use that to your advantage.
Working on, imagine how much further would be. Wait, I don't. When did you start?
I started like, oh gosh, when was that? 05? It's like tail end of college.
Yes.
Year of college.
I started when I was 23, 24. If I started when I was 18, I would have had a 6-year head start. I might have been doing better than Jimmy O Yang. I feel like I'm driving a minivan in the first lane, and Jimmy, Bobby, Red, Ellie.
Man, that's hilarious, man. 21. So, what year was that when you started? Because you're at almost 20 years now, aren't you? Or at 20 years in comedy?
2000, right around you, 2003, 2004, right there. When I got the Asian night, it was 2003, around there.
Yeah, because I remember that's so you just started around the time. Yeah, because I remember going to because you were a long time regular. You had one of the longest running shows at the Laugh Factory, Asian Nights
14 years.
14?
14 years. Yeah, I brought a lot of people there too, man.
14. No, I believe it, man.
A lot of people came and waited on a Saturday night. Midnight, Dane Cook would run the light. They'd have to wait an hour just to get in, and they supported. And then Thursdays, Friday, a lot of people came, man. I feel like I owe them something so much more than what I could give back. But one day, hopefully, before heaven.
Man, I can only imagine how that must feel because your name is writing on it, and pretty much the majority of those people there, and they got to like sit through all that, and because they get in the line at what 11:30, the show starts at like 12:45 or something.
Yeah, I remember some people that came to some shows and they never came again because there's so much time they got to sacrifice. Some of them live in Orange County; they got to drive all the way out.
Yeah,
right. And they're it's crazy,
At least an hour drive, depending where you go in the OC or something, or the IE. But yeah, man. I mean, I think that was one of the first times I had seen you on stage because you're hosting Laugh Factory Asian Nights Friday, and I think I was like a sophomore in college coming down, and you had Joe Coy close it out, and I think it was a night that I guess he was recording something for his something, a DVD or whatever, for it. He just like rocked the show, and that was like my first like real exposure to seeing all these Asians doing stand up. I'm trying to remember who was on my show besides you and Joe Coy. I want to say Danny Cho was on there and some other non-Asians on the show because it wasn't just Asians. Like they basically put other non-Asians on that show too.
At that time, it was like usually me, Joe Coy, and then Dane Cook, and then they call it Asian Night.
Right.
Every week. It was like
that's crazy, man.
So there were times when I was the host, I was the only Asian, and they would call it Asian Night. I swear, Jamie would do that.
That's how much they believed in Asians in comedy, or
the Asians drink a lot, man.
I mean, didn't you make a Excel spreadsheet for Jamie to prove to him how much money you brought in?
Yeah, when the owner of the Laugh Factory and I were fighting, this is so Asian of me. I made an Excel spreadsheet and showed him how many people I brought, how much money I was making him, in comparison to how much money I was getting paid, and it was ridiculous. You know what I'm saying? It was just like bringing in like $100,000, I'm gonna pay like $5,000 or something.
Like, that's insane, dude.
After that, I just got all these spots over and over.
Dude, people just don't understand the struggle or the grind when it comes to this kind of stuff, dude. Like for real, like just trying to, man, just to get the stage time. You know what I mean? And trying to get up.
And especially now, there's 10,000 comedians, man.
I know back then it was only like a handful of Asian.
Once the Joe Rogan podcast blew up and all the others comedian and they kept talking about like stand-up comedian life, then everybody just wanted to. Everybody thought they could do it. Everybody wanted to do it. There's 10,000 comedians. There's like 1,000 Asian comedians. Before there were like 50 of us.
Not even that, I don't think, man. Like
maybe
there were
30.
Yeah, it was just a handful. I mean,
yeah, no, but there are so many Asian stand-ups now.
Yeah, totally. Because around that time when you started, or when I was starting around, like you would only really see like a handful of real Asian comedians who were working like on when we were doing slanted comedy shows, like Edwin San Juan shows. Like, man, I'm trying to remember just the 10 people off that show. You, me, Edwin. I mean, some of them don't even do comedy anymore. There was like,
Phil Nee.
Who was that?
Phil Nee. You remember Phil Nee? Oh,
I remember Phil Nee. That's just to prove my point. Oh, hey, yo, Danny Choi just joined us from Korea. What's up, Danny?
Nice.
Wow. I had him on last week or earlier this week, something like that. What do you call it?
This is the most random audience. It's Danny Cho, Clipper Bear, and my friend Judy, Mama Twins, and OC. And from Quebec.
Shecky Wong?
Yeah.
He was one.
Shecky Wong. Phil Nee. There you go. Danny.
Oh, that's it? Okay. Yeah. There's some guys I don't even do anymore. I remember, like, remember what's his name? Rufio. There's that Filipino dude, not the actor, but the other dude, little short Filipino dude.
Yeah. I forget.
He was there. Eugene. I'm trying to remember these names. Eugene Lee Kim or whatever. I can't remember. I remember all these names from the old Slam Flyers. Is Nancy Lee still doing comedy? I have no idea.
He's funny, man. But that's another thing too. It's just like as we get older, it's so much harder to keep, the life responsibilities. It's just harder to do. That's why you got to hit it hard when you're younger. In everything.
Anything in life, really. But I mean, it's true to what they say about comedy or just showbiz in general. Is like comedy is really just it's really a young man's game, honestly. Because you have the energy to just grind it out and hit the road.
At least with comedy, you can be older, not like rappers. Like there's definitely a time limit with rappers.
Yeah, shelf life for sure.
But energy for sure, man, dude. I'm like working out now. Like I'm so old. After I work out, I gotta take a nap, dude.
I see your
I work out and I take a nap, bro. Like I'm like dead.
I see your stories on IG, man. Like I see you just hitting me. You're doing like crazy workouts, bro. I mean, like.
No, I'm just trying to stay mentally sane.
Right, by doing some stuff.
Started in March. I've done like 270, and I'm just trying to but nothing like some of my friends are so disgustingly buff. I'm just doing it so I don't blow up,
Right. Keep you just stay in somewhat shape and stay healthy. I mean. Yeah. I see you're doing what is it, 100 pull-ups, man? Like I haven't done.
No, not 100 push-ups.
Yeah. How many? Oh, push-ups.
100 push-ups, yeah.
You're doing how many pull-ups?
Hard, dude. 20. 100 pull-ups is hard, dude.
It is hard, but I mean, you're doing what? 20?
20.
Because I mean, that's still hard to do. Because the last time I did a pull-up successfully, I did 7 pull-ups in the 7th grade presidential fitness test. That was the last
presidential fitness.
That was the last time I did a pull-up. Not even joking, dude. Remember that back in the day, the presidential fitness test?
I remember that. It was such an odd thing because there would always be like a few kids that were so they couldn't do anything, and I feel like it messed up their confidence forever. You know what I'm saying? Like there were some and then everybody else was like in the middle, and then some that just couldn't do anything. And then it just everybody made fun of them, and then I don't know. It was such a weird thing. It was like, yeah, but I guess that's.
It was hard, man. Like I remember trying to do this some sort of some 100 or whatever dash like a sprint or dash or something, and like I remember the kids would make fun of me because of the way I ran. Like I guess I looked like a cartoon character just trying to run, like all flopping into like I had no form. I'm like, damn man, like I don't run and I don't do pull-ups. Like leave me alone. I play basketball. I play the number 5 position. I box out. I rebound. That's all I do. You know what I mean? Like it was terrible, man. Francine Hong said I was watching random comedy videos on Insta. Saw one of your posts. Really respect you, humble, love it. Hey man, you got people love you. People love you, PK.
Not that she's not talking to me. She's talking about you, bro.
Oh, it's talking about you, bro.
She's talking about you, bro.
Oh, it's totally random comedy videos. That's you, man. You got a lot of funny stuff on your on your Instagram, your YouTube, man. You got like how many views on YouTube do you have now? Like 5 million?
It's only because the Laugh Factory one, yeah, and I got a lot, but it hasn't changed my life at all. It really hasn't.
You said the same thing about being on Amazon Prime. What happened?
It hasn't changed my life at all, bro. You know, the only thing that changes people's lives is Netflix.
Is it really?
It's the only thing, dude. It's the only one that changes people's lives. Netflix. What's their is their distributorship is like 150 million or something like that?
Yeah, the distribution. Wow.
Amazon, fine, but most people watch Amazon on their computer and they have 10 other browsers open. It's different. Like it's different if you're watching something on Amazon, you know?
Yeah, that's true. And,
you know, on your TV, but if you're watching on your computer, it doesn't have the same feel. But Netflix has that like, feel, and not only that, it's international.
True.
It's
very true.
Netflix is a game changer, man.
Yeah, totally. I mean, it definitely did, especially for comedy, man. I mean, because you watch it on Amazon. There's comics who have stuff who I guess self-produced, or I don't know how they get it on there, but I guess unless it's like somehow an Amazon original or unless it's promoted by Amazon, I feel like you kind of get lost in the catalog, right? Or shuffle or something, and like it doesn't get as much visibility. Even on Netflix, though, like people sell their stuff on Netflix, and you just can't find it somehow. I've come
unless it's promoted on the front page. Same with like Jimmy O Yang's is promoted on the front page of Amazon, so it is a game changer. But unless you're promoted on the front page, you know. But they have algorithms too. Like David Arnold's did so well
on Netflix.
Yeah, and now have you seen that? That's one of the best specials, man. And so I've watched it like 3 times. He's so good. And then like Joe Coy's, you know, he has like, dude, he has like 3 specials on Amazon and Netflix at the same time. It's insane.
Yeah. That's true. Danny Cho said Amazon is the food for less of content.
Hey, how come I can't see Danny's? I can't see his comments.
I think it's just because it's on my feed. I don't know.
Oh,
yeah, because
I don't see anything. My thing just froze. I don't see who joined or not.
Yeah, all the comments are showing on mine. I guess
it only says there's 3 people in here.
Yeah, there's 3 right now. We had some people on Facebook and YouTube popping in and out. Danny also said PK is a semi-celeb in Korea.
Yeah.
Is that true? How does that happen? How does that work out in Korea?
Yes, I think Danny's being nice, but someone translated my YouTube videos on Laugh Factory to Korean and then just uploaded it, and then that started going around.
Really?
Yeah, but dude, those clips, those bits are 5-6 years old, so it's like if I don't come with something new, I've straight up had people email me out of the blue like, "Yo, dude, your stuff is so old. Like, please, for the love of God, like." I'm like, dude, all right, but we're in a pandemic, all right. I have 3 kids. Like, let me try.
Who's hitting you up telling you
you know,
old material online? Who's doing that? Who's hitting you up saying you have old material online? Who's doing that? Who's hitting you up?
Random people, dude. But I guess it's cool. It's a good kick in the butt.
Oh, like so these are a lot of people that have been following you. They want new content.
Danny is a pioneer in Korea. Legit. Yeah. Like he's doing historical things right now.
He was telling me, yeah.
yeah, he like the whole stand-up comedy scene is right now is a real historic time, and I don't know what it is now with the pandemic, but like he is one of like he'll be in a history book. Like looking back on like when stand-up comedy started in Korea, Danny's one of the key figures.
Definitely one of the pioneers for sure. Because before that, it was before he was telling me like comedy in Korea was more like a play or kind of like costumes and like
Yeah,
skits, I guess. You know, and
yeah.
it's kind of the same thing with comedy, like uh, uh, classic comedy in the Philippines too. Like it wasn't really Western stand up; it was more, you know,
I
costume.
predict though that people are going to start getting in trouble, just like American stand-up comedy. Like you push the boundaries, and then the government starts going, "Hey, what's going on here?" Like there's free speech boundaries are different in every country, you know.
Right.
Like people might get in trouble, warnings. I think like every country has its history of how stand-up comedy progresses.
No, yeah, it's definitely different because I remember what was that? What was that? I think it was in Thailand. It was in Thailand because you when I was doing shows there, they you couldn't do or say anything about the royal family, or you couldn't say anything about Buddhism, because like the venue could get fined, and the owner of the venue could go to jail for that or whatever. Like it was like super strict. You know what I mean? So it's like, is it kind of like that in Korea too, or is it more?
I don't know. I mean, I've only done it twice there. Danny would know, but yeah,
Oh, okay.
I mean, we weren't giving any restrictions, not at all. But I'm sure if you start saying like F the government, like people they'll start going, what's going on here?
Right. You know what I remember? What I was gonna say earlier, when I forgot when we were talking about weddings, is I remember I did, I think, a kid show at a wedding, or was like the what was it? What do you call that Korean first birthday thing?
Or,
Dol, dol. I was doing a my kid show because it's a first birthday, and I was doing the thing with the raccoon. Do you remember the fake? Do you remember doing
yeah,
that thing with a bit? And I do this gag where I smack the raccoon toy on the table, and it plays, and it looks like it's dead. And then you you jumped in the show, and you're like, "All right, kids, don't do that at home to your pets." Do you remember that?
no, we've done so many shows together. I can't remember which one.
You don't remember that happening, bro? I want to show a clip of it on StreamYard here with what I'm talking about. I'm gonna show it. Hold up a second. I'm gonna load it up right here. But yeah, and it was just so funny to me because I get it, because like you're a parent, and you know you have to like let these kids, because sometimes these kids don't know what's real and what's not. It's kind of like cartoon. It's in the realm of like cartoon humor, violence. You know what I mean? And because some of these kids like think the animal that I use is real. Hold on, I'm trying to pull up here on my Facebook here. Is that showing on your screen?
Yeah.
All right, let's do this.
Hold on.
Let me
Perfect. Good. There we go. Give him a little scratch. Yeah, he likes that. Perfect. Good.
Are you hearing it?
He likes that. That's good.
Yeah.
Awesome. Does anybody else want to give him a little pet right here? We all can't crown him at one time. All right. So who wants to pet him over here? You guys want to pet him over here? You want to give him a scratch right here? Just give him a little scratch. Just give him a little scratch. There we go. Yeah. Give him a. Yeah. He likes it. He likes it. Perfect. Good. Perfect. Good. Awesome. Good. Perfect. Good. Awesome. You guys want to give him a pet? Oh, gee, no, just. All right. Just. Sorry about. He likes you guys. You guys just. I don't know how you can jump. It's like,
Dang, bro. Look at how much your beard is.
little jumping here. He gets a little jumping. There we go.
Here it comes.
Rocky, we'll put you back up here, okay? Right, perfect. Jeez.
So,
Oh my god.
so I just turned it into a Thug Life video.
Oh my god.
Hold up.
That's crazy.
Do you remember that? You don't remember that bit when I did that at that?
I kinda do, yeah.
Oh shit! Hold on.
Definitely gonna check this video.
Yeah. I remember when it happened because you gave that little warning label, and I vividly remember because no one's ever done that in my kid's show, and I was just always thought it was funny how you had to let the kids know, hey, this is fake. You really don't remember that at all?
No, I remember you doing the bit, but I don't remember me giving the warning. I mean, I'm sure if it was kids' party, the parents would be freaking out, man.
Yeah, you are right. You definitely are right. And I'm actually, I don't blame you for actually doing it because I had to stop doing that because like a lot of these parents would be like kind of get like freaked out about it, like me abusing an animal,
Of course.
even though even though the kids were laughing their asses off, the kids would literally would laugh so hard, dude. And that's why I was doing that for years. But then just just in recent years, like I had to like not be so aggressive with the animal, with the animal. It was so funny, man. I used to do that. Live raising. What's that?
A girlfriend, Francine, Judy, find Justin a girlfriend right now. He's smashing raccoons in front of kids.
For the kids, man. That kind of goes back to what I was saying with how we have to kind of find that fine line between of us being not trying to pigeonhole ourselves. Like, I didn't always want to be the family entertainer. You don't always want to be the host. You kind of have to do something along the lines that kind of like shocks up thinking of what you don't do. You know what I mean?
True.
It's kind of like what's her name, Miley Cyrus, when she came out from Hannah Montana, and how she was all like half naked, shaved her head, started like twerking. You know what I mean? And now she's trying to lose that Disney Hannah Montana image, or is it Nickelodeon? I can't even remember. You get what I'm saying?
I think it's Nickelodeon. Yeah, I can't remember.
Yeah. Basically, that's kind of what we're trying to do in a way, right? I feel like.
Would you do a naked cover of a comedy album?
I wouldn't, bro. That reminds me. Were you the one that emailed me about doing that nudist colony? Was that you?
Yeah, but you know what? I heard that was a fake one going around to everybody. Yeah.
Oh, that email went around to a lot of people.
Yeah. I thought I was getting like an exclusive like thing. I was like tripping out, man.
Bro, when you hit me up about that, you want to tell everybody the story? What happened?
I got an email about like doing comedy at a nudist colony, and it was like well paid.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I was like, dang, man. Gotta do this for the family, bro.
It was a wedding reception, right?
Just pop a Viagra and let's go.
Yeah, it was like I think it was a wedding reception if I remember.
Yeah, it was a wedding reception. I was like, dang, dude.
And they wanted the MC, a DJ, and a magician.
Yeah, naked
to perform naked at a nudist colony at a wedding reception. And you had called me up and asked me if I could do it. And I was kind of hesitant, but you know what? I was actually considering it because we really need money as entertainers right now. But I think I eventually turned it down, man.
No, it was fake, dude. It was going on there. Those are other comedians getting hit up. I thought it was real. I was tripping out.
Did you reply back to it, or did you give them a call?
Yeah, I was like, "Hey, man, how much?" I never got a reply.
They damn.
Or I think they threw it in there. It was really well paid or something like that. I don't know.
I feel like if we did do it, it would have been one of those gigs where we showed up to nothing. Like it was like one of those like prank gigs where there's really no gig. They just make you go out in the middle of nowhere and take off your clothes for no reason or whatever. You know what I mean? But what a story though. If that wouldn't really happen, like, you and I would have to like see each other's dogs for like the whole reception. And like and then it'd be so hard to work with each other after that, I feel. I don't know.
Elderly Asians are so comfortable with that though, like a saunas.
That is true. The Korean what is it? Those Korean spas? Don't they have those like
sauna spas?
Sauna spas. Those are 24/7, right?
They are, but I don't know how they're gonna survive this, man. I don't know who's going to those right now.
That's true. I don't even know if they're even open. Are they considered businesses?
I hope they're getting loans because my brother-in-law owns one.
Wow.
I don't know how they're doing.
I heard about this one comic in LA who didn't like he stayed in LA, but he didn't have his own place. So what he would do is that he would pay to go into these Korean spas or bathhouses, basically. So he would hang out there. He would chill because it's 24/7. He'd take a shower. He'd use the sauna, whatever. There's free Wi-Fi in the lounge. He would sit there on his phone, do his thing, and he'd basically just stay there a couple days or whatever until he needed to go somewhere. And then he'd take a nap because you can take a nap there, whatever, relax, and he didn't have to pay LA rent. How
Every time I went to New York, I've been to New York like 7 times. There's a Korean spa in West, like 32nd Street. There's K Town. I don't know if it's now, but because if you fly in at like early morning, you gotta wait till check in. So I would just do that till check in, and then if I partied, and then the flight was at like 6 in the morning, usually I would just go there for a few hours before the flight. Why am I gonna pay for
an extra room, right?
For 2 hours?
Yeah, I hear that.
I would just go there. It was perfect.
I hear that, man. I knew one comic who would when he do like a one night or whatever. He said he never paid for hotels for like 10 plus years because all he did was do the gig, then go to like a 24-hour fitness, whatever, work out. He was a health nut. He'd work out, shower up, maybe take a nap in the rental car or something, and then just head to the airport. Like he never needed a hotel room because he was just in and out, and he had always had a place to go. It's essentially the same thing like these bathhouses. Francine Hong's, I guess she was asking about the old Korean people at weddings. How they're comfortable being naked, I think. She said, really, Koreans, funny, never thought about it. How about Vietnamese? You have any experience with old Vietnamese people in that situation?
The Vietnamese people are definitely just as rude as Korean at weddings. They talk over you. They're drunk. They're so drunk, dude.
Yeah.
Vietnamese people drink like Korean people. It's tradition. They have a bottle on every table.
Oh, okay. I was about to ask.
They drink, man, and then they don't care who's talking. They're gonna talk over you. Yeah, like one time the father of the bride was talking, and then a whole bunch of people just got up right while he was talking, and they were like, "Hell yeah!" Like just it didn't matter. Yeah.
Yeah. I didn't know that whole bottle of alcohol thing was at a Vietnamese wedding too. I've only seen that at like Korean. I mean, Chinese weddings. I've only seen where they have like Courvoisier or they have what is the other one? Hennessy, and like a 2-liter bottle of Coke at every table. Hennessy, Courvoisier at every table has. I didn't know that was a Vietnamese thing too, because my brother is married to a Vietnamese lady. I don't think we had bottles at the tables there. I don't think. Did you have any other like crazy thing happen at Vietnamese weddings? Like at all?
I mean, there's always very beautiful girls at Vietnamese weddings, but you can't look at them more than 1 second because you feel their boyfriend or they're just looking at you too. So you do not stare at all. I gotta bounce, bro. I gotta put these kiddos in.
Oh, hey, man. No, I know you have family. Let's just wrap it up here, bro. Francine Hong said Remy Martin. I guess Remy's the head there. Francine Hong, she said she's Viet Chinese, born in Quebec City. She says, "Yeah, we are loud." Ha ha ha. Yeah, very true.
I definitely love. I'll just say that. I'll keep it professional.
Yeah, bro. Hey, no, I know you got to go, bro. I don't want to keep you any longer. Anything I want to plug or shout out or anything you want?
No, man. Thank you, dude. Appreciate your friendship.
Man, I appreciate you too, man. I love you, man.
I know to come through and just say what's up. And
man.
Thank you to Danny Cho, Francine Hong, and Judy Clipper Darrell.
Thank you guys for hanging it. Francine Hong said we used to shotgun the Remy Martin bottle on the old people table. Damn. That is insane, dude. That is a trip, guys. Guys, hey, thank you for tuning in. This is the RFL podcast show. Rivera on the floor laughing. You can see the replay on my Instagram at the Justin Rivera. You can check out PK. Follow him on PK at PK Comedy on Instagram. He has so many videos on YouTube, millions of views on there. You can check him out as well. You can also watch the replay on my Facebook, Mr. Justin Rivera, Mr. Justin Rivera. Or on YouTube, Justin Rivera Show. Just search that, or check out justinrivera.com or ROFLshow.com. Yo, PK, thank you again, man. Merry Christmas, Happy New Year.
Thank you, brother.
Tell the wife and kids I said hi. Appreciate you hanging out. And we gotta do it again. Just hang out and talk and shoot the shit, man.
Cool, man.
Appreciate it, man.
Thank you, brother. Merry Christmas, Happy New Year.
Take care, bro. Thank you so much.
For sure.
There we go, guys. Thank you for hanging out on my Instagram live here, people. Francine, Clipper Daryl, man, a bunch of people. Danny was on here. Who else? I'm scrolling through the comments right here. BB Wonder Woman, always on my IG live here. Big Moon. Thank you guys for who else is on here right now. Shun 43, Francine, Moni V, Moni Reese, Marathon Family Farm. Agency Boys, Kelly, Leanne, thank you guys for hanging out for a little bit. We just wrapped it up here. If you guys want to see the replay, check it out on my Instagram at the Justin Rivera. Give me a follow there as well. Facebook, Mr. Justin Rivera, Mr. Justin Rivera, River with an A. YouTube, Justin Rivera Show. You can see the replay there as well. Or check out justinrivera.com or ROFLshow.com. Rivera on the floor laughing. Thank you guys for hanging out, watching. I appreciate you guys. We're gonna be doing more of these, so be sure to give me a follow, subscribe, like, all that good stuff. Add me and keep you updated on all these little live stream podcast shows. Got a bunch of entertainers, comedians, actors, writers, magicians, all kind of showbiz industry people. So stick around, stay tuned for future episodes. All right, guys. Thank you guys very much. Take care. Merry Christmas. Happy New Year. Be safe. Wash your hands. Happy Hanukkah. Happy Kwanzaa. And I'll see you guys soon. Thank you again. Take care. Bye. Thanks. Peace out. Facebook, YouTube. We'll see you guys soon.